And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. There's some hard times.
I'll never forget when the last time I saw him. It was just after his birthday, the weekend before he was leaving, and I told him I loved him and I would see him when he got home, and he never came home. And I didn't even give him a hug. Because you always think they're gonna come home. He graduated from high school and he got into directional drilling. And one of the gentlemen in BC had lost his license there, so they asked Tanner if he would go to BC and drive the rig truck around. And of course, I mean, he jumped at the idea of going to BC, and the company had a house rented for all the employees. So he'd go to BC for 10 days and then he'd come home for a week. So it was just kind of like being there to work and then you'd come home.
Tanner was a one-of-a-kind kind of guy. He had this glow to him that you couldn't really see on nobody else. And just someone just so full of life. Always so positive, always had a very positive outlook on everything, whether it be something, negative going on. He always had a solution on how to make things better.
Breaking news now in connection with a suspicious death in Surrey over the weekend. The Integrated Homicide Investigation Team identifies the victim as a 19-year-old Edmonton man.
Somebody went out of their way to take a life. A young man. Not even a man. He was still a kid. He wasn't even a man yet. He's just starting out, turning a new leaf, becoming something.
I don't know. It was like, I couldn't believe it. It was like I couldn't, until I seen Kim that day, I couldn't get past the part of like, knowing that he was really gone.
And it was the hardest day of my life because I could never imagine losing my baby brother.
When you see a mom after she lost a son, that hurt more than getting the news that he passed away. The look on Kim's face. There has to be justice.
To be honest, you're quite short, but you're quite cool.
Tanner and I became really good friends in grade 7. It was one of the first days of grade 7. Came home, said, yeah, I want to go have a sleepover at my buddy Tanner's house. My parents were like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go meet the parents. My dad walks in that door. Kim says, Kim Krupa? Dennis Fadoon? They actually went to high school together, so it's ironic that we became best friends grade 7.
It was amazing. He was involved in everything. He played hockey all the way through. He played soccer. He was involved in everything in school. He always made sure people were okay. Like, he always wanted to make sure they had what they needed. Even when a friend was having trouble at home with their family, Tanner would always invite them over and our family would always bring them in. Like, not many young teenagers are willing to jump up and grab anybody to help them and bring them into their own home to make sure they're okay. And that was a beautiful thing about Tanner.
You can always touch it up around everywhere. Just go around once again so you...
Yeah.
I'll hold his ear.
It doesn't get easier. People say when time heals, like all wounds and stuff like that, it's not true. You just learn how to go on and continue your life without that person, but you always grieve that person and you always feel that hurt that you felt the day that you found out.
Surrey RCMP first responded to a report of an altercation.
They found the body of Edmontonian Tanner Krupa.
He was not known to police. The motive, still a mystery.
There's a group of males that was involved.
Early Sunday morning at around 5 a.m.
Call for help in a murder mystery involving an Edmonton man.
Newly released surveillance video could help solve a white Honda Civic and a white Toyota Corolla.
People who know about the slaying of 19-year-old Tanner Krupa have moved here.
And this must weigh heavily on their conscience. So I'm speaking actually directly to them today.
I was in my room and I was watching the news, and they said blonde, 5'10", late 20s, but he was only 19. He was a pretty big guy, but I knew right away that was probably him. I was with my friends and family, thank God, because I was already a wreck at the time.
But I started texting him about 10 in the morning and no reply, which was odd because no matter where he was, he would always text back. So I kept texting, and about 2 o'clock, I got a call from his work asking if I had heard from him. And I asked why, and they said, well, his roommate said that he didn't come home the night before, and my heart dropped. I knew right away something was wrong.
A lot of my friends were commenting that there was a body found in Surrey and that maybe that might be him, and I was like, no, it couldn't be him. And then they put a news report out, and as soon as they said that, I just dropped to the floor.
I think a lot of us I don't want to say accepted it, but we know it's permanent.
How are you supposed to be okay after that happens? It's just a piece is missing in our family, and it'll never be the same.
It's been 3.5 years, almost 4 years, and his best friend struggles every day. He can't. I don't know, he'll never get over this, as none of us will, but a few of the kids are in counseling, and it's just so tough. I think all good times.
He was such a good kid and did not deserve to die the way he did. Like, our family has no closure on it. We don't know anything. He deserves something to come forward from this. He deserves somebody to be honest and truthful.
There has to be closure behind this.
We have to have justice, we have to. This can't go on unsolved. It just can't. All to the day I die, I will fight to find out what happened.
There's a park called Florence Hollick. And we'd hang out there, and that's why we decided to put that tree there. That's where we remember Tanner the most.
We go sit at his tree and we just talk to him, and it was just like, we know he's there with us, he always is, but there it's just our own special place.
You know, being a guy and stuff, everyone kind of tells you to toughen up, you know, you can't really show your emotional side, but whenever I had any kind of problems, whether it was like a family problem or a problem with a relationship or something, I could always go to Tanner, and he could always, you know, guide me in the right direction, always. You know, I could always show my emotion with him, and he would always be so supportive, and, you know, make me feel like someone really cared about me.
He would give the shirt off his back for anybody and everybody. He just had such a big heart.
Once they all got cars, that's where they all met. So I kind of feel like that was kind of a big part of his life, was meeting there after school with the kids. So that's why we planted the tree, and we spread some of his ashes there too. I think it's healing for them just to go there and feel his spirit there. I lost Tanner, but I gained 40 other kids in the midst of it. He touched a lot of hearts.
If I could have anything, it would be to have one final moment with him, you know, be able to really just talk to him, or even just him to see kind of who I am now, how I've grown up, you know, and say what I want to say to him, you know, see his face, look into his eyes for a final moment.
Another conversation for sure. Just a checkup, because I don't know if I'm doing right, or I want to make sure he's proud. I know how he's feeling. Another conversation for sure.
You know, I can't tell you what those kids, they don't know, but I can't tell you what they've done for me. They've given me so much love and just to watch them grow, because I miss out on my boy growing up. And you know, they'll just, even if they come here and have supper and they sit on the couch and they joke around and they don't realize what they're doing. But for me, I sit back and I watch them just to hear their stories, because I don't get that. I can't tell you what they mean to me, the world, the absolute world. They're a big part of our lives. Why? Why Tanner? My only child. Why? If anybody knows anything, like you might think that it's nothing, but it might be something grand to the eye hit, and it might be, you know, something that could just blow this case right open. Please, if you know anything, just call IHIT.